They are fighting for their country. How a senior U.S. defense official is describing Ukrainian military forces said tonight to be putting up more resistance than Russian forces expected. Ukraine claiming it shot down a Russian aircraft over Kiev overnight. Still, Russia appears to have its sights set on taking the capital, where firefights have broken out on the streets. Ukrainians well aware that only a third of Russian forces surrounding their country have actually entered the country so far. The White House tonight trying to inflict more pain on Vladimir Putin, levying financial sanctions on Putin himself. With battles and airstrikes taking place across the country, Ukrainians and foreigners alike are desperately trying to flee. Our team has it all covered again tonight. Richard Engel starts us off now from inside Ukraine.
The barbarity of Russia's assault on Ukraine may be captured in this single video. Though not confirmed by NBC News, witnesses say that's a Russian tank veering into a civilian car in Kiev. The woman who filmed it sounds equally frightened and horrified. Then, even after backing over the car, miraculously, the driver appears to have survived. Passers-by prying him out. The Russian advance is now closing in on the Ukrainian capital. The sanctions leveled by President Biden and U.S. allies are not changing Vladimir Putin's mind. In pockets of Kiev, there are street battles and apartment buildings destroyed. But the Ukrainian military is putting up a tough fight. A Ukrainian official says this fireball was a Russian jet shot down. Tonight, a senior U.S. defense official says Ukrainian resistance is greater than Moscow anticipated. That Russian momentum has slowed. It's captured no population centers. Still, these are early days, and 2/3 of Russia's forces have yet to enter the country. The toll of the invasion so far is heartbreaking. This was a school in eastern Ukraine. The New York Times posting this video reportedly showing infants move from an ICU to a makeshift bomb shelter. Today, Ukraine's President Zelensky blasting the West for not doing more to help, pleading for tougher sanctions on Russia and saying he's Russia's #1 target. His family, now in hiding, is #2. And reportedly telling EU officials on a video call, "This might be the last time you see me alive." Later, he appeared on the street saying, "The citizens are here and we are here. We defend our independence." Ukrainians face a more powerful army, but so far are not flinching. Ukraine's government is calling on all men of fighting age, 18 to 60, to take up arms. People in trucks passing out guns to civilians. On Ukrainian television, they're broadcasting instructions on how to make Molotov cocktails. And this video appearing on Ukrainian news agencies purportedly showing Ukraine's Tank Man, a brave civilian trying to block a convoy of Russian vehicles on the highway. We went out in Mariupol where they're lining up to donate blood.
Valentina, why are you doing this today?
I come here to give blood for our soldiers, which protect my country, my people from Russian aggression. Russia attacks our peaceful, sleeping cities.
As the battle is now underway to take Ukraine's major cities and capture the capital.
Russia today said it's open to Ukraine's offer for peace talks, but they seem unlikely, with Putin once again calling the Ukrainian government neo-Nazis and demanding that its military surrender first. Lester?
Richard Engel starting us off. Thank you. And as Russian forces step up their assault on Kiev tonight, there is chaos, fear, and defiance, with millions of Ukrainians caught in the middle. Aaron McLaughlin is there.
The Russians have arrived in the capital. Gunfire heard in the shadow of St. Michael's Golden Dome. Residents told to shelter in place after alleged Russian soldiers were killed while wearing Ukrainian uniforms, according to troops at the scene. Civilians taking up arms and on patrol as they're warned they no longer know who is on their streets. At the central station, mayhem. Thousands trying to cram into carriages, hoisting their children onto the train. Anything to get them to safety. As police fire warning shots to disperse the crowd. Those who can't leave hunker below ground.
This is still a functioning metro station, yet for so many people here, it's the only place they can go when the sirens go off.
Anastasia is sheltering here with her 2 best friends and her cat.
What is that scary? that's why we are fighting.
Overnight, an apartment building was heavily damaged. Hours later, resident Katya, fighting tears, sings the Ukrainian national anthem as she surveys what's left of her home. Her grandfather was given this apartment decades ago, a gift for his service after the Soviet-Afghan war. Now collateral damage of yet another Russian conflict. Long live Ukraine, she says. Tonight promises more terror for the residents of Kyiv. Many here feel as though they're reliving the horrors of the past.
But I guess the one history lesson we learned is that no one learns lessons of history.
A country haunted by the past, now unsure if it even has a future.
Aaron joining us now. And Aaron, Ukraine's president predicting a full-scale assault from Russia tonight on the capital. What's happening at this hour where you are?
Lester, earlier today, there was a gun battle just a few miles from where I'm standing. It was the first time we've heard gunfire, an ominous sign, but otherwise, right now, it's eerily quiet. Lester?
Aaron, you and your team continue to be safe. Thank you. Just breaking this evening, the White House now says the U.S. will impose individual sanctions on Vladimir Putin and Russia's foreign minister. Kelly O'Donnell is following this from the White House. Kelly, what does this mean and why now?
Well, the president is joining allies on this, Lester, the United Kingdom and the European Union. They move first to sanction Putin, his foreign minister Sergei Lavrov, and top Russian officials. This is a change from just yesterday when President Biden said imposing a direct financial penalty against Putin was simply on the table. Sanctioning a head of state is rare and is intended to further isolate Putin. But the practical and punitive impact is less clear because Putin's immense wealth is believed to be carefully hidden, making it harder to target. Lester?
Kelly O'Donnell, thank you. With Russian forces sweeping through Ukraine with warplanes, tanks, even amphibious vehicles, we want to map out their movements for you tonight. Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kuby joins me now. Courtney, map this out for us.
So for nearly 48 hours, Russia's large-scale invasion has targeted Ukraine with missile and airstrikes directed at Ukrainian military sites all over the country. Now, Russian troops are focusing on three main axes of attack. From the north, Russian tanks rolled south from Belarus and western Russia around Chernobyl to encircle the capital city, Kyiv, with the goal of isolating and ultimately completely taking it over. From the east, Russian paratroopers and artillery focused on Kharkiv, which is still seeing heavy fighting. And from the south, Russian assets from Crimea focused on Kherson, and just hours ago began moving northeast towards Mariupol and the Donbass region. As the Russian military tries to take over the eastern half of the country, the Ukrainian military is fighting back, making Russia's fight more difficult than some experts anticipated.